Right now at 10, a circuit court decision could be a step toward disabled people voting electronically from home.
And a 115-year-old Minnesota dam is on the brink of breaking after major flooding.
Plus, an Eau Claire middle schooler is making Wisconsin history.
You're watching WKDT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. A new judge will hear Todd Geek's homicide case in Trempealeau County.
At Buffalo Pepin County's Judge Thomas Clark will step in for Trempealeau County Judge Ryan Radke, who recused himself on Friday. 61-year-old Todd Geek is charged with first-degree reckless homicide for the death of 36-year-old Kyle Dahl of Ettrick. According to the criminal complaint, a witness says Geek shot Dahl in the head as Dahl's car passed slowly by Geek's along Highway 53 and County Road TT. Geek is held in county jail and has a bond hearing Tuesday. An Eau Claire woman is pleading not guilty to charges related to an armed robbery. According to the criminal complaint, Eau Claire police responded to a fire station where a man was stabbed in the abdomen during an armed robbery. As part of the investigation, 3 people were arrested and charged, including 24-year-old Ivy Leonard. She's accused of armed robbery, aggravated battery, as well as bail jumping. She's being held on a $25,000 cash bond.
No one was injured in an Iowa house explosion Sunday morning. Multiple fire departments were called to a house near Lansing, Iowa Sunday morning. We've since confirmed this structure is a total loss. In a Facebook post, Chief Stephen Darling of the Lansing Rural Fire Protection District confirmed there are no injuries. He says his district will be working with the state fire marshal as they conduct their investigation.
Bliss Road is once again closed for maintenance. The City of La Crosse Street Department says the road will be closed to all traffic until Tuesday, July 2nd at 3 p.m. Crews are conducting road repairs and maintenance. That closure could be extended if weather delays impede those repairs. And heavy rain is causing flooding to affect the area. The City of La Crosse says high waters have closed its boat launch facilities until further notice. The Grand Crossing, Willow, Cottonwood, and Vietnam Veterans Trails in the La Crosse marshlands are also affected. On the Vernon-La Crosse County line, County Road GI is closed up to Hunters Point Landing due to flooding, as is a portion of Blackhawk County Park in DeSoto.
The Rapidan Dam in Blue Earth County, Minnesota is in danger of breaking. Authorities say debris from floodwaters from the Blue Earth River are pushing up against the 115-year-old dam. That has caused the river to severely erode the bank on the western side of the dam. The Blue Earth County Sheriff hopes the river will crest tomorrow and the river will start to subside.
And again, from southern Minnesota to our region, there's been a lot of rainfall recently, even around the Viroqua area tonight. Hail falling, Greg.
Yeah, it was what a year makes. Because last year we're going into a drought situation, but this year totally different for some of those areas out to the west have received 10 to 15. But we have a line of severe storms tonight. Not concerned so much with flash flooding as much as damaging winds, and mainly north of I-90. Better shot if you go north of I-94, and I'll explain that in a second. But for the morning commute, we're not seeing any problems at either location all the way up to noon. Just some cloud cover, a north-northwest wind, a little bit less humidity too, so no issues for that. Otherwise, we get to noon at 80 degrees. Now, going back to the situation right now, we do have the severe thunderstorm watch in the pink-black background. That is until 4 a.m., and that is a line that's beginning to develop just northwest of Eau Claire, and especially west of Ladysmith, and that's the line eventually that will begin to develop and push eastward. The question remains is how far southwest it'll get closer to La Crosse overnight, and there's some varying solutions of what it will do. But for the most part right now, more confidence that everything's going to be east of La Crosse and especially east of 984, but it's going to be a surge of wind, basically damaging wind as we go throughout. Now, later in the broadcast, we'll break that down, but also mention that we're kind of in an active pattern. We'll have more chances of rain. The good news is we're not seeing any heat coming or so much cooler conditions. So overall, just active, but there are some dry breaks in there.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
Wisconsin's Attorney General is pushing back against a request to let disabled people vote electronically from home. In April, Disability Rights Wisconsin and the League of Women Voters filed a lawsuit demanding disabled people be allowed to cast absentee ballots electronically from home. They also wanted the judge hearing the case to issue a temporary injunction before the lawsuit is resolved to grant the accommodation for this November's presidential election. In a hearing, hearing, Attorney General Josh Kaul's attorneys argued that state election officials don't have enough time to train local clerks on the change before November. They also argued the move would create security risks and confusion. A Dane County judge could make a ruling as early as Tuesday.
Wisconsin taxpayers will pay for about $64,000 for the consultants who were hired to review state district maps. That's according to a new Wisconsin Supreme Court ruling. Now, the court hired 2 consultants to review 6 redistricting proposals after it ruled the previous maps were unconstitutional. They found the Republican-drawn proposals were the most gerrymandered and the governor's maps were more balanced. The legislature then passed the governor's proposal, which is now law. Now, those consultants are charging about $128,000 total for their work. Under the court's ruling, all 6 groups who submitted their own map proposal will pay about $21,000 apiece. So taxpayers will be on the hook for the governor's, Republicans, and Democrats' map proposals. The head of the state's Public Service Commission says Wisconsin's underserved areas will have broadband access by 2030. Summer Strand told a WisPolitics luncheon Thursday that is a conservative estimate. Wisconsin's set to receive more than $1 billion in federal grants next year to start expanding broadband. The PSC says Wisconsin has spent $200 million in state money for broadband since 2019, and in that time, over 400,000 homes and businesses have seen improved access.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders rallying in La Crosse this weekend. According to the senator's website, he's hosting an event this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. at the UW La Crosse Student Union's Bluffs Room. The aim of the event is to, quote, rally our progressive movement here in Wisconsin. Sanders is an independent senator, but he caucuses with Democrats. The visit comes after Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren visited Madison today on behalf of the Biden-Harris campaign. An Eau Claire middle schooler is making history, winning the first Wisconsin Civics Bee. The Civics Bee is a competition hosted by the Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce Foundation, in which middle schoolers from across the state share ideas to improve their communities and answer civics questions. Raya Musavi wrote an essay focusing on the flaws of the education system. She never thought she would earn first place in Wisconsin's first ever Civics Bee.
20 people or 20 students from the first round are picked to go to the regional level of the Civics Bee.
Not every state has a Civics Bee, but that doesn't mean the competition will be easy. Raya will compete against winners from 28 other states, including Michigan, Iowa, and Indiana this fall.
The Ultra Foundation held its 2nd annual golf tournament at the golf club at Cedar Creek in Onalaska today. Golfers teed off at 10 this morning to raise money for scholarships, teacher grants, and financial education platforms for local schools. Now, last year, the tournament raised more than $60,000, and organizers were hoping to exceed that amount today. One organizer said some of the scholarships go to high school students who are saving for college.
College is a huge expense for students, and not everybody has the ability to save early or have parents help. FAFSA doesn't seem to be covering to make everything meet, so being able to offer the scholarships is great for our members and those in the community that we serve.
And the day ended with a dinner reception and award ceremony. Still ahead, our hometown hero.
We'll meet a resident care aide who's bringing good energy and smiles to an assisted living facility in Toma.
At Taco John's, we believe a better Taco Tuesday starts with better tacos. That means using 100% North American beef, cooking shelves in-house daily, and a deal that makes you say, how are these only $1.29? Taco Tuesday is every Tuesday at Taco John's.
You're young, but your bathroom is old. I get it. I visit my kids, grandkids, my precious great-grandkids. Doesn't fit their lifestyle. Not safe. Old and ugly. You'll be amazed at the transformation you can make in just a few days. New tub and shower with all new fixtures, new toilet, new sink and vanity, new flooring, at an investment much less than you might think. Call the Board Store Home Improvements today for a prompt free estimate on your new bathroom.
This adorable shelter pet wants to meet you and your family today. The News 8 Now Pet of the Week is brought to you by
Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics. I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message. I'm 82. 86.
90 years young.
Eric Hovde thinks people like us shouldn't be able to vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Son, I've served this country. I think I can handle a ballot.
What a jerk.
Eric Hovde, I'm fully aware of whom I'm voting for, and it won't be you.
Christy Christensen is a resident care aide and CNA at the Liberty Village of Tomah, an assisted living facility where she cares for residents and brings smiles and positivity along the way. It's the reason she is this month's Hometown Hero.
There's no one quite like Christy.
She's just, it's infectious, and the residents, you can tell she genuinely cares about them. And that's not something everybody has.
Christy is a resident care aide and CNA at Liberty Village, an assisted living facility in Tomah.
These people, they need someone to care for them because they can't care for themselves. To be able to be here and to help with that, I feel is very important.
Important indeed. She helps residents with their daily activities, toileting, dressing, feeding, even lending an ear to those who need a little extra help.
There are quite a few residents that have dementia or Alzheimer's, and I've always tended to bond with those people because they're special in a unique way. And it's nice to hear their stories.
Christy has been a CNA for over 10 years, so she knows a thing or two about what it takes to be impactful in her role.
Compassion, understanding, patience, a lot of patience.
She's also an amazing teammate. She does an excellent job at mentoring her fellow co-workers. We can always count on Christy.
And the residents can always count on her to bring a smile, warmth, and a reassurance that she'll be there for them each and every day.
When I give residents their bedtime medications and I can tell them good night, sweet dreams, I will see you tomorrow. I think it's important for them to have consistency, to see the same faces, and for them to know that when they wake up, someone's going to be here for them.
They too will be there for Christy, bringing joy to her life and helping her fulfill her purpose.
I love my job. I wouldn't trade this for anything. I feel as though that this is my calling, is to be here with these people.
And if you would like to nominate someone who's doing good works in your community, you can submit them on WKBT.com under our Features tab. The TSA screened millions on Sunday, and they say there will be more busy days ahead, how it might affect your holiday travel.
And we're tracking some storms tonight for some locations with damaging wind, but we got some lesser humidity coming for Tuesday and even cooler conditions for Wednesday. We'll break it all down later, coming up after the break on your First Warn Weather Update.
Everyone's vision needs are unique. At Shopko Optical, our caring team of professionals will work with you to ensure your vision is at its best. Shopko Optical can help you experience every detail, color, and breathtaking sight in clarity.
Get an 11% rebate on your painting project at Menards. Dutch Boyd DuraClean is an interior paint and primer in one with Stay Clean technology, so your home stays beautiful longer. A gallon starts at $19.48 after rebate. Paint in one coat with Max Bond Plus exterior paint. It provides max adhesion, height, and performance. With over 800 one-coat colors, it's designed to work for you. A gallon of flat is $47.87 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
How did CEO Eric Hovde become a multimillionaire California banker? Let's take a look. Hovde's family rigged the system to rake in $30 million in government subsidies and loans. And now he's sheltering his wealth in shady tax havens around the world. So it's no surprise Hovde supports more tax cuts for corporations and millionaire bankers like himself, while working families pay the price. That's bank CEO Eric Hovde. Never been on our side, never will be. Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models, or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your Best Choice GMC dealer today.
You know what frustrates me is seeing people who are 50, 60, even 70 years old who are worth less today than they were the day they were born. How does this happen? These folks never learned money management. I love talking about money management at Firefighters Credit Union, so if you'd like to learn more, please give me a call.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses. See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Prosecutors are urging the Department of Justice to file criminal charges against Boeing for safety issues. Boeing has faced a series of questions about the safety and quality of its planes. Previously, the Justice Department and Boeing reached an agreement in January 2021, and it was to settle charges it allegedly defrauded the Federal Aviation Administration. That settlement would have spared Boeing of any criminal liability. Boeing has not responded to the new reports of the DOJ possibly considering criminal charges.
More and more people are flying this summer. The Transportation Security Administration says its workers on Sunday screened nearly 3 million people at airports across the country. The TSA says it expects to screen more than 32 million passengers in the days leading up to the July 4th holiday. That would be nearly a 5.5% increase over last year's holiday period. If you're planning to travel, the agency says it expects this Friday will be the busiest. Everyone get ready.
Absolutely. All right, well, we had a fair amount of sunshine today, which was great for the Ultra Foundation golf outing. But as we've seen a lot lately, a lot of evening storm conditions, hail around the Viroqua, Richland County areas. So for a breakdown on what we can expect as this week progresses, let's switch over to Greg.
Yeah, we had those storms earlier this evening, just one or two cells that actually went through southern parts of an area with hail. That was about the damage with those things. Now we do have some severe storms, but this is more for northern areas, and it's really from about now into about 2, maybe 3, and I'll show you kind of the trend has been further north than east. Now the good news for Tuesday, you'll see the humidity start dropping afternoon on Tuesday. Still a few showers potentially, but nothing severe to be expected there. Cooler on Wednesday, continue dry mainly on Thursday, but we do have precipitation coming back Thursday and Friday. The pink background's a severe thunderstorm watch until 4 a.m. and it's mainly for northern areas. You see one cell up near Park Falls and another cell approaching Rice Lake, a couple of them too. This is eventually going to form a line, so really it's going to be for Ladysmith, Eau Claire, areas point to the further south. We'll eventually see this overnight. The one question is, how far west and southwest is it going to get? Because you'll eventually see here that line comes through about Ladysmith about 1 to 2 a.m. And here's this line that begins to develop and surge south. This would be the damaging wind. Now, how far west the stretch is a little bit in question. If you were earlier at 6 p.m., there's different solutions pushing this all the way back to La Crosse. That's getting a little bit less likely as it surges south. We'll probably see a wind shift potentially about 3 to 4, maybe near La Crosse, but I'm not so certain that we're going to see much activity really push south. There's a little bit of a timing difference too with this line, a little bit later with some solutions, but overall they're pretty much in agreement now that it remains to the east. So we'll keep an eye on that. Still can't rule out some outflow getting a thunderstorm to the southwest or even west of La Crosse, but I think that's less likely. The good news, once you wake up tomorrow morning, no activities be expected, and then as we go out through the rest of tomorrow, a few cloud cover begins to build back in. We do have the front that'll basically lying to the south, but we might see a few afternoon or evening showers come through the area, really spotty at nature, but that'll be what we could see towards the evening commute. You can see just a few out there. Temperatures, as I went by, mid to upper 80s. It's still going to be warm. The cooler air really behind this front is still up to the north. We'll see the dew points and the humidity start falling, but it'll be really towards Wednesday that we'll see the temperatures begin to fall. And still cloud cover overnight. We might actually see a few more showers lingering across the area, but I think a lot of areas will just see cloud cover further south, and that may continue on Wednesday. Now, for the river stages, looks like Mississippi's still going to be in the moderate stage. We're looking at that maybe towards the end of this week or weekend. The rest of the rivers right now are on minor stage or falling. That's the good news with all this. And really the watches pretty much through the whole entire area right here. You can see that a lot of the rivers, as you get further to the Mississippi, are still going to crest here in the next day potentially. We're talking the Black, the Trempealeau, as we go further down, even the Root up to the northwest too. All those rivers are beginning to fall, probably starting at least tomorrow, if not already. So that's the good news. Minor, just moderate is the only river we're looking at right now for the Mississippi, and that's a positive news. But overall, we still got those issues to deal with until we go through about the conditions here for later in the weekend. We'll see conditions then eventually sustain itself, and probably the Mississippi River is going to take another week and a half maybe to get back to really below action stage. But for tonight, we'll have that line of storms come through, but mainly north and east of La Crosse. I don't see much of a chance. It's getting less and less likely. A lot of areas will see that. For tomorrow, a few showers, but notice the temperatures still getting warmer up there, but the humidity will start to fall in the afternoon. And then as we go on to Wednesday, that's when the temperatures really drop off a little bit. And then showers return back Thursday night with another system that looks to be pretty wet going into Friday. And then cooler air once behind that pretty much for the second half of the weekend too with mid-70s. So for the severe threat tonight, the alert day is really mild, probably east and north of I-94 now. It's looking more likely.
Sure.
So that's the good news. But for areas up there, definitely pay attention. You could see some damaging wind come through with that line of storms.
All right, lots of ground to cover. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers were hoping to take down the reigning World Series champs. Plus, the Loggers entered today's game on a 5-game winning streak. Could they make it 6? Jacob's got the answer next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible. Own a legend, Toyota Trucks.
Right now, get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new 2024 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Your journey to wellness begins at Vernon Memorial Healthcare, where excellence in orthopedic care is a reality. From initial consultation to post-operative recovery, every step of the way is tailored to you. The numerous awards for orthopedic services are a testament to our entire team's skill and dedication. Your path to wellness is paved with our unwavering support and expertise. Trust us for a brighter, more active tomorrow. Vernon Memorial Healthcare.
In the courtroom, we see Donald Trump for who he is. He's been convicted of 34 felonies, found liable for sexual assault, and he committed financial fraud. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's been working, lowering healthcare costs and making big corporations pay their fair share. This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
So that no matter what mess you brought into this church today, no matter what addiction and what struggle, no matter how many times you've doubted God or questioned God, that because of Jesus Christ, God's not holding it over your head. Instead, there is this amazing grace, there is this unconditional love that you and I can say, God doesn't just put up with us. God loves us.
Join Pastor Mike Novotny each Sunday. Watch Time of Grace on Channel 8, WKBT.
Dear sharp curves, Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. 'Cause man, we got traction.
Right now, lease a fun-to-drive new Corolla for $219 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacob Lenzendorf. I am thrilled to be here with you as the new sports director with News 8. Growing up just an hour south in Prairie du Chien, I'm honored to be able to showcase the great talent in the Coulee region and talk about some of my favorite teams as well. Whether online or in person, thank you all for being so welcoming. Now, enough about me. It's going to be a busy week here at Copeland Park, and the Steam started a 4 games in 3 days stretch earlier this afternoon. Let's go there. Viterbo's Alexis Watson making her steam debut. Second meeting between La Crosse and Mankato on the young season. It was the Habaneros with a hot start already with one run across, and Brooke Holmes is going to make that another one there. She singles to center field. That scores a run. Mankato with a 2-0 lead, but here comes the steam. First batter for the home team, and Ashley Wolf gets things started with a liner right up the gut. A few batters later, and Callie Janik delivers. She gets one past the diving second baseman. Wolf comes in to score. Steam cut the deficit to just 1. And then the Steam defense making some plays. A ground ball to Wolf, steps on second for 1, over to first for a double play. Watson would go 6 innings pitched, giving up just 2 earned runs, but Mankato would blow this game wide open in the 7th, winning 11-2. And the Red Hot Loggers were home tonight hosting Thunder Bay. Bottom 2, La Crosse already up 1-0. RJ Hamilton hits a grounder, but Derek Mitchell beats the throw home. And later in the frame, it's Matt Mura delivering with a man in scoring position, and that base knock makes it 3-0. Then Case Sanderson says, I want in on the fun. He shoots one into right field. Here comes Hamilton. You're going to see him, and he is going to be flying around the bases there. He's going to slide home safely to make it 4-0 Loggers. La Crosse in a bit of trouble in the following inning, though. Runners on first and third, no outs, but Ty Brooks grounds into the 4-6-3 double play. Border Cats get on the board, but that gets the Loggers out of potential danger. Elijah Ekis then gets that run back in the bottom of the 3rd with a base knock. Loggers continue to be the hottest team in the Northwoods League as they pick up the 8-3 win. Brewers back home tonight after a trip out west last week. Bottom 5 crew looking to get on the board, and it's Jackson Churio speeding home on the wild pitch. And the next inning, it is Reese Hoskins with the bases juice, and he decides to exit stage left. A no-doubter off the bat of the Brewers slugger helps Milwaukee take their first lead of the game. Second grand slam in 3 days for the crew. You love to see that if you're a Brewer fan. Then later in the 6th, Andrew Monasterio is going to throw his bat out at this off-speed pitch, and that ball has eyes for the outfield. Brewers take the opener against the Rangers by a final of 6-3. Well, on Wednesday, the newest batch of NBA talent will be welcomed into the league. But today, the Timberwolves and head coach Chris Finch agreed upon a 4-year extension that'll take him through the 2027-28 season. The man at the end of the bench for Minnesota has gone 160 and 127 in his 4 seasons with the T-Wolves so far, and he's led the franchise to 3 consecutive playoff appearances for the first time in 20 years. Minnesota made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals this past season. And how about some Packers news on this Monday here? Ed Policy is named the new Green Bay Packers chairman, president, and CEO beginning in July of 2025. Now, Policy is entering his 13th year overall with the organization and currently serves as the chief operating officer. Mark Murphy, who has been in the role since 2007, will be retiring after this season. And
Policy sounds like he means business.
Yes.
With a name like that.
Yeah, right?
He's like, you have to have that.
Yeah.
Yes, he is ready to go. And also, too, some news on the Packers front in the dating world. Jordan Love got engaged.
Getting engaged. Very scenic looking on Instagram.
In Italy.
In Italy.
Yeah. Very nice
castle.
looking venue.
Ooh, a
Oh, man, it
castle.
was great.
How do you say no?
I know.
You
Romance
don't.
is in the. I mean, he's probably going to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks
Correct.
after this season.
Correct. Great guy, too. It seems like a guy that you just love to talk to, things like that. So, yeah, I'd love to see that for him, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
and we'll see how
MVP
it
in
affects-
life
yeah.
and MVP at the end of the season, perhaps, after a Super Bowl win.
Love is in the air.
Let's
Yeah.
manifest
Let's
it.
see if it helps. Yeah. Okay, we'll take another look at your forecast right after this.
On these trails, I find the middle ground and get things moving. I've done that as a state lawmaker, and it's what I'll do in Congress. I'll work with both parties to get things done for workers and families. I'm Katrina Shanklin, and I approve this message.
People of another age, yep. Howdy Doody Time, the Ed Sullivan Show, the Mickey Mouse Club. You remember, getting in and out of that tub just isn't quite as easy as it once was. We make life easier for older folks like me. New walk-in shower, a personal shower, a seat if you like. Seriously, be safe. Call the Board Store. Let us make your bathroom safe and beautiful. Contact the Board Store today.
Maury's VW has all the latest Volkswagens with new product arriving daily, including the new 2024 Volkswagen SUV lineup, the large and very spacious Atlas and Atlas Crossport, the perfect size family-friendly Volkswagen Tiguan, and the practical, economical Volkswagen Taos. As always, you don't need to travel far to have your Volkswagen serviced. Come in for your test drive today at Maury's Volkswagen.
My husband and I have been married for 6 years. We now have 2 healthy kids. Ideally, we want one more, but I know that it comes with a great risk. Like a lot of families, we experienced a couple miscarriages. I saw firsthand the treatment I received when I had my miscarriages before and after Roe was overturned. And it is infuriating. Going through a miscarriage without access to any type of reproductive health care is so scary. The pain was unbearable. I was losing so much blood, and doctors were afraid to give me the care that I needed. This was standard medical care for over 50 years, and overnight it just vanished. What we're seeing here in Louisiana is a direct result of Donald Trump overturning Roe v. Wade. First it was Roe v. Wade, then it was IVF, and next it will be birth control. Donald Trump is going to pass a national abortion ban if he's elected again. This has to stop, and that's why I'm so adamant about supporting President Biden.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Congress has been spinning its wheels, going nowhere. I'm Katrina Shankland. In the state capitol, I've passed 225 bipartisan laws to help farmers, workers, and families. I approve this message because I have the experience to get things moving.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Well, it is a day to celebrate a popular Southern staple.
That's right. June 25th is National Catfish Day. The freshwater fish are named that because of their prominent barbels, which resemble cat whiskers. Did you know that these nocturnal swimmers also have no scales?
I did not, but now that I'm looking at it, it makes sense.
Neither did I. Many catfish lovers enjoy coating the fish in cornmeal and frying it up for a crunchy delight, but the fish is also delicious grilled or baked.
Yeah, the most common varieties for the dinner table are the channel catfish and blue catfish.
That is a big catfish. It reminds me of the fish.
Video.
Did you see that movie Big Fish?
Yes, way back when.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me. Wasn't it a huge catfish? That fish?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot.
I think it was. Yeah, it was.
Not
Anyways.
not one of the Tim Burton films I'm familiar with right off the bat.
Yeah. No, I think it is. But catfish, I can attest, is really delicious. You've never had it before.
Yeah, I've only gone catfishing, but we had to toss them right back, so didn't get to enjoy.
Next time, enjoy it.
Next time.
Next time. Okay, Greg, we'll have one final look at your forecast when we come back.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
Chart your career with a welding position at Chart Industries. Do you have a year or more of welding experience? Starting wages up to $35 per hour. We have the job for you. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Now, get up to $7,400 in total savings on a 2024 Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Finish your painting project with help from Dutch Boy, now at Menards. With over 100 years of paint experience, Dutch Boy is the perfect choice for your painting projects. Get a fresh coat in one coat with Platinum Plus interior paint. It's an ultra-premium paint and primer in one with amazing stain resistance that gives your space a long-lasting finish. Get an 11% rebate on Platinum Plus paint, now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Has your pet been diagnosed with a luxating patella or floating kneecap? Forget the inconvenience of travel and expense to a university. Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics in Holmen specializes in using both tibial tuberosity transpositions and block trochleoplasties to safely repair your pet's injury. Fetch made possible, one knee at a time. Contact Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics today.
Every week it costs more to feed my family. Prices are just out of control.
Boy, inflation is really hurting us. It's got to stop.
Career politicians like Biden and Baldwin just don't get it. They're making things harder for folks here in Wisconsin. By stopping the crazy spending that caused inflation and cutting red tape, we can bring prices down. It's time for a change. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. I'll get the job done for Wisconsin families.
Chart your career with a welding position at Chart Industries. Do you have a year or more of welding experience? Starting wages up to $35 per hour. We have the job for you. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
All right, the alert is really probably for along and east of I-94. I think it's less likely we're going to see activity get close to Sparta or even further west to La Crosse overnight. About 10 to 2, it should be no issues for the morning commute. There's your severe thunderstorm watch. And if you're up towards Ladysmith, that is the one area to be concerned as there's a line that could begin to approach. No warnings yet, but expect really a stormy night for those areas up there. Otherwise, it should be quiet for a lot of the rest. We'll see that line come through. And as you depict here, staying kind of east of the area. Tomorrow, less humid and cooler as we go to Wednesday.
All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
We'll see you tomorrow.